Hello there, welcome and thank you for joining us on another edition of the Evening Review. My name is Okito Craig, and this evening in studio with me we have Miss Veripi Kangumine, the Manager for Employer Training Grant at the Namibia Training Authority. Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Good evening. I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm well, thank you.
Okay.
Please, let's start at the beginning. What is the Employer Training Grant and what is its purpose?
Okay, the Employer Training Grant is a grant under the levy, which the employers can claim back. So we collect funds over a year, and at the end of the financial year, the NTA financial year, which runs from April to March, we then split the funds into three sections. 15% is for the administration of the levy. 35% is for key priority grant, which the NTA use to fund other TVET programs under the management of the NTA. And the final portion, which is the 50%, which we call Employer Training Grant, is the one that the employers can claim back, provided that they have trained their employees. So employers can actually claim back up to 50% of their annual contribution to the levy.
Awesome. So is the purpose of the grant to encourage employers to train their employees, or what is the purpose?
Yes. The purpose of the fund is for employers, to encourage the employers to train their employees, and it's also to strengthen the relationship between the NTA and the industry in general.
Oh, I see. I
Yes.
see. Last year, how many employers participated in the grant?
Okay, last year we had about 457 employers that participated in the Employer Training Grant. Mm-hmm. We are looking forward to increasing that number as it has been a trend in the past. So every year the number actually grows, and that's what we are looking forward to.
How long has the Employer Training Grant been going now?
The Employer Training Grant has been in existence since the implementation of the levy, which was implemented in 2014.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's more than 10 years, 12 years almost.
Yes, it's 12 years now. Yes.
How many employees have benefited from training thanks to the grant?
In terms of the employees benefiting from the levy, that is something that we have not considered to keep record of before.
Okay.
But since you are asking, it is something that we can consider for the future. Yeah.
Okay. How much money was paid out in terms of the grant last year?
Okay. Last year we paid roughly 129 million. Of that amount, 38.2 million was for last year's applications, mm-hmm. Whereas roughly 55 million was for the year before.
I see.
Yes.
I see. And how much money has the Namibia Training Authority collected from employers last year?
Okay, what we have collected since the beginning of April last year to the 31st of March this year is an estimated total of 613 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how much is there that employers are eligible to, or how much is there to disperse to qualifying employers this year?
That is 50% of that amount, which is roughly 300 million. But it also depends on the total number of employers that will apply.
Uh-huh.
So that amount could be 300 million or it could be lesser.
If fewer apply?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And then if they apply and they qualify, how long does it take the NTA to pay out?
The regulatory requirement is that the NTA need to pay the employers within 6 months from receipt of application, provided that the employer has met all the requirements for their application.
So let's expand a bit about those requirements. What do employers need to do to be eligible?
Okay, for employers eligible to claim back or to participate in the employer training grant, an employer needs to submit an application to the NTA. This application can be accessed on our website. For the current year, the process is manual. So employers are required to log on to our website, download the application form, and then they need to complete the application form and then attach the necessary documentary proof of cost and training, and then submit the application to NTA. This application must reach the NTA on or before the 5th of May, and the application can either be hand-delivered at the NTA offices, or the employers can scan the documents and email them to the NTA.
I see.
Yeah, so for any guidance, or if employer need more information, they can contact us, or they can come to our office if they reside in Windhoek.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. But that process seems to require that as an employer you must hire somebody, or you must go externally to train your employees. Does it make provision for in-house training at all?
Yes, the process does not necessarily require employers to hire people from outside to come and do training, because on-the-job training also does qualify. So internal training also, so whereby one employee is training fellow colleagues, that can also qualify.
So how would you figure out the value?
In terms of internal training,
Yeah.
because there are two ways how internal training can take place. The first one that you mentioned earlier, of hiring an instructor from outside. For that one, obviously, you will have a tax invoice.
Yes.
But for on-the-job training or one employee training fellow colleagues, we actually use the payslip of the facilitator, the one giving training to the other parties.
Aha.
Yes. So we pay an hourly rate for the duration of the training. That's what we pay back to the employer.
I see. Very interesting. I didn't know that. So if I'm an employee who is instructed to train a fellow employee, I might be able to approach my employer to say, I could deserve a little bit of that money.
Bonus.
That NTA. We all need bonus in this time. Things are rough. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, since this employer training grant has been ongoing, has it had an impact on skills and the level of training that employees have in Namibia?
Yeah, the impact has been positive, and it has also been progressive. The impact of the levy in general is that a stronger partnership has been formed between employers and the NTA. We work closely with industries, and also through the levies, we have been able to develop new training programs that were not there before, such as accounting technicians. We also have developed other programs in retail and warehousing. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. Which sectors of the economy have been more responsive in terms of participating in the employee training grant?
We have specifically the finance and business sector, the mining and quarrying, tourism and hospitality, the fishing industry, and automotive and manufacturing has been the forerunners.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but in general, all the 11 industrial sectors have been participating.
Are there any sectors that you would like to encourage to do more or participate more?
Yeah. The one sector that I would encourage to participate more is the agricultural sector. They have been lagging behind a little bit in terms of participation, but we call on all the employers in the agricultural sector to please come forward and submit your applications.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, excellent. What have been some of the highlights for you in your experience in managing this employer training grant?
Some of the highlights have been the participation rate, the way it's increasing over the years, because when we initially implemented the employer training grant, we started with roughly 100 and something employers, but over the years the numbers have been increasing. Another highlight is also in terms of the employer's understanding of the grant in general, because the reason as to why we have been able to pay such an amount of 128 million, which is quite a milestone for us, is because the employers have submitted applications that are less ambiguous.
Okay.
Yeah, where now they provide evidence, sufficient evidence as per the requirements, and that has really been an upside for us.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and thank you very much. We'll be right back after this short commercial break to find out more about the employer training grant from the Namibia Training Authority. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the evening review. My name is Ogito Craig, and in studio with me this evening we have Miss Veripi Kangumine. She is the manager of the employer training grant at the Namibia Training Authority. Ms. Kangumine, you told us earlier about how the training has developed, how you were able to identify some new training that you could support. Could you elaborate a little bit about that process, how you were able to spot the gaps and how you were able to develop those programs that you can now support?
Okay, through the employer training grant, we are able to see the different programs that the employers are giving to their employees. So then we actually cluster those different programs as per their different types. And then further research is done through our research division. Mm-hmm. And then we would then contact the employers, and together with the employers and our industry skills committees, then programs are developed by our TVET programs division. Yeah.
So it's really tailor-made to deal with the requirements that employers face.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yes.
That's excellent. And you were speaking earlier about the need to encourage agriculture specifically to participate more in the program, in the grant. But do you think that our agricultural entrepreneurs and business owners, do they have a clear idea of the qualifications that are available, the steps to take in order to upskill their employees?
You know, they are the industry experts. Mm-hmm. So I think that, or I do believe that in terms of their needs, they are better vested to actually advise the NTA in regards to the type of programs that the NTA need to develop. Because historically, if you look at TVET in Namibia, some programs were not really in the TVET stream.
Yes.
Yeah, but now we do have more agricultural programs.
Okay.
That some of our VTCs are offering. So we also have employers that through engagement with the NTA, they have come up with training institutions, such as AGRA is one such institution that now has training programs in agriculture.
Oh.
So we encourage employers to actually engage with the NTA and find out more about the programs that are offered in TVET in general.
Do you find that the training ecosystem in Namibia is growing and expanding?
Yes, the ecosystem is actually growing, but we also know that the NTA cannot do it alone.
Yes.
Which is why the implementation of the levy was actually a blessing for the NTA, because then that relationship between employers and NTA actually provides the necessary information that is actually required for the NTA or government through the NTA to actually develop programs that are suitable to the market, instead of just developing programs that we may think are needed, whereas the industry may not necessarily require those.
I would very much like to get your insight about something. You mentioned what people may think. You know, we often hear as Namibians that there's a skills gap, there's a lack of skills. But then in my experience as a journalist, I often come across stories celebrating the skills that Namibian workers have. For instance, recently I was speaking to somebody from the gold mining industry who said that when they had built their mine in Namibia, they took more than 100 Namibians to go build their next mine in Mali because of the skills of Namibians. So where is the truth? Is it that we are unskilled, or are we very skilled? Or from your experience, how would you characterize our situation?
Yeah, from my experience, I think the Namibian people, we have this thing where we actually underestimate ourselves and the skills that we have. Because also through engagement, I came across an employer that was saying that they've been to the UAE, whereby they look for more chefs and cooks from Namibia. But when you look at the Namibian industry, we feel like we don't have enough people who are qualified in tourism and hospitality in general.
Yes.
But also, I think the other problem also is the fact that most of our VTCs has been training up to level 3 for too long.
Yes.
But now we are busy upgrading to level 4 and 5, so that we can have more artisans out there. I know it's a progressive thing to do, because in order for you to train at a higher level, you must have a qualification higher than the level where you want to train. So for Namibia, that has been a bit of a challenge, but that is why on our program, through the levy, we have a program where we are upgrading the skills of trainers so that they can train at higher level.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes.
That's very good work that you are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy to hear about that, because I've heard in the past that there's a limit to how high you can skill yourself in Namibia, and that if you want to get better, you have to go out. So do you think that perhaps in a few years' time, we'll be able to reach those top levels of training in country?
Yes, surely. It's a gradual process, obviously, but we may not be able to go up to higher level on all the programs, because no country in the world can, be able to train in all the areas. You find your niche and you can train in that area, but then for those ones that are not in high demand, you may not necessarily need to develop a qualification, but you can send your people outside the country. But for those that are needed most, the country can actually develop them locally and offer those programs locally.
What progress is being made in convincing Namibians of the value of vocational skills?
You see, when you ask that, I'm already smiling because we have really made inroads.
Oh.
You know, when you speak to the public in general these days, they don't see TVET as a career for failures. They see it as a career choice.
Yes.
Whereby one can either go the path of academics or you can go the path of TVET. I think the previous perception was just caused by lack of information. But as we educate the people more, as we offer more programs, we have more people having interest in going the TVET route.
Excellent.
Yes.
Tell me, is there a possibility for older employees who have gained skills and knowledge over time but didn't have high qualifications over the years to still benefit from vocational training opportunities in Namibia?
Yes, very much, because the NTA has a program that we call Recognition of Prior Learning, RPL.
Okay.
So through the RPL, employers can apply if you have employees that have expertise in their field through years of experience.
Yeah.
The employer can actually apply to the NTA, or even employees, they can apply, and then through recognition of prior learning, an employee can be taken through an assessment process through which your level of competencies are tested, and depending on your level of competencies, you can be issued a formal certification.
Wow.
And if there are any gaps in terms of the certification that you need to get, the NTA then provides a mentor that at the NTA cost, so that you can fill those gaps in order for you to qualify for the certificate.
Awesome.
Yes.
You've shared so much important information with us this evening, but I think it's important that we circle back to the employer training grant and what employers need to do to qualify. I understand that there's a deadline looming. Please tell us.
Okay, like I've mentioned earlier, for eligible employers to access the funds, you must submit an application. That application must reach the NTA on or before the 5th of May this year.
The 1st of May.
5th of May, yes. It's important, please take note.
Yes.
The 5th of May. By 12 o'clock.
By 12 o'clock.
Midnight.
Midday. Oh, midnight. Okay.
That application must reach our offices. You can send the application via email at levyclaims@nta.com.na, or you can courier your application to the NTA. You can hand deliver your application to the NTA. We also have a box at the security entrance, so that should you come after hours, you can drop your application in the box, and we can pick it up tomorrow, the next day. So our offices are in Kommersdal, Ren Street, NTA Village. You can for applications that for employers that want to post their applications, you can send them to PO Box 70407, Kommersdal.
Thank you.
So the NTA office hours are from 7:30 to 5 o'clock Monday to Thursday, and Fridays it's from 7:30 to 1:30.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Kangumine, and thank you very much for joining us on the evening review. That's all we have time for now, but please, employers and employees, don't miss this opportunity. 5 May, grab it and join us again. Good night.